Hello and welcome back to Bite Size Sports. I am Kev, and today we are going to dive right into some mock drafts, 12 team mock drafts. A little loosen up a little bit here, a little laid back mock draft stream to help get you going. We are going to have our usually scheduled bounce program here at 9 p.m. So we'll get you out of here in about 30 minutes. So without further ado, we are going to draft as quickly as we can through a few different positions in a 12-team PPR draft. Not starting at 10. That's where I was last night in the ADP Fantasy League draft. Go check that out on our channel right now, Bite Size Sports. See where myself and Nate and, of course, hosts Trevor and Dan see where we landed. Check that out. I'll definitely have some commentary for all of you throughout the season on that. Oh, you know what? I've been going wide receiver a lot here. I'm going to continue to do so. AJ Brown, Devontae. I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson because of Aaron Rodgers. Aiden Farva, check that. Aiden O'Connell. But I don't think anyone's sneezing at Devontae Adams in that spot, are they? Let us know what y'all are up to in the chat. I know there's college football going on. In fact, I will get it pulled up here on my end so I can keep track of the score, see what's going on in that game. But of course, hit us up in the comments. Fire away with any questions you've got, whether it be about fantasy football, anything in general. Would love to chat with you. All right, third round. I'm gonna be honest, especially with this turn. I'm going Ridley, and then I'm just gonna go Brees Hall here. I might go Aaron Jones. See, I was in that 10th spot last night. I guess we will end up talking about it a little bit. And this almost worked for me. I went three receivers, three running backs. In hindsight, I think I only would have went on two running backs at 10th spot. And I waited. I was the last guy to take a quarterback. And I still almost got my guy. I got sniped by the auto draft. Auto drafted a backup quarterback, and it was a heartbreaker. So I'm gonna do Madison here. I do like Madison. I'm holding on tight ends here, guys. We'll see as we get to it a little bit later. But there are some folks that I like further down that I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna not go three running backs in a row like I did last time. I'm gonna go with Brandon Ayuk there. Hopefully he continues his trend in the right direction. I was a couple of years, at least a year early on Ayuk. Was it 2 years ago? It did not pan out. Had him last year in a guillotine league. Worked out. He didn't start as much later in the season because if those of you don't know, a guillotine league, basically the worst team gets dumped and all their players go into free agency, and you have a like $100 budget, whatever you have a budget throughout the off season, and you can only spend so much money, and you have to also audit auction style, so you have to outbid folks. Now this was a tough spot for me. What is Williams looking like? He's still on a pitch count. You know what? I'll throw that in there. We've got our receivers. I don't love it, but we're playing around with some things. Oh yeah, I forgot. We are back to back. Well, we're going receiver then. John Dotson. You know, you guys buying the QB hype in Washington? We're gonna roll with it for this one. Dotson and Samuel at times last year had some games. They especially Samuel with his ability to get the ball out of the backfield, stuff like that, where fantasy wise, it might be good without Carson Wentz back there. I couldn't believe Ron Rivera's comments, basically saying, "If I had known he was this good before, da da da." Like, are you trying to get fired, sir? Excuse me, Ron, Bubby. What are you doing? That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, I like me some Gabe Davis as the number 2. I think, speaking of being a year early, a friend of mine was very high on Gabe Davis last year. I don't think he had a bad year by any stretch, but I should have gone with Richardson right there. We waited too late on the quarterback. I was not paying attention. This one's going to be a struggle because could have grabbed, maybe, well, probably not Dak because we didn't have Lamb, but Cousins is the floor. I mean, Cousins was my fallback last time. We really screwed the pooch here, but you know what? We're going to end up with Geno, which isn't terrible. We also could have grabbed Rodgers and paired that with Wilson, and that would have been nice. We got 4. We got to check the roster here at this point. Who's sitting in the flex? 2 receivers. We don't have our tight end yet. Oh, and we missed on the tight ends. I screwed this one up, you guys, but it's okay because we got Gerald Everett in the pocket back there. That's fine. We'll survive. So, yeah, we'll just take A-Chain then. So, happens I was in story time. That's the warm-up draft. That's why we put it in this swing spot. Fine. We'll focus in. All right. No more Ron Rivera talk. I'll keep an eye out for chat, but got about 25 minutes left, so I will hone in for these next few rounds. Let's see. We got, what? I like Mooney a lot. He fell to me in the 12th round last night, and I'm gonna take him again. And then I am just gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on Everett. Higher. Well, I guess not higher because there aren't many picks left to make. And then we'll take our kicker. One of the things that I learned last night, thank you, courtesy of the ADP podcast. Trevor let me know this as they were talking on the stream. So you better check that out. That you don't have to draft kickers in or your defense. You do not have you can overdraft your bench, so to speak. And that's what we did not pick a defense. Oof. They really think Mac A is going to score more points than Cameron Dicker, huh? I disagree. I'm a Colts fan. I disagree with that. Let's bring that down. Wait, actually, you know what? Here, let's take a look at the roster. Not our best work here. Geno, Bryce, Madison, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Gerald Everett, and then in the flex we have Ridley, Ayuk, Cameron Dicker. We will stream the best defensive option in week 1. On the bench we have Javonte Williams, Jahan Dotson, Gabe Davis, Brian Robinson, Devin A-Chain, and Darnell Mooney. Listen, I do not hate that team whatsoever for a team in the 12th spot with the last pick in the draft. We were half dicking around. Not a bad job. So let's focus up this time, he said to himself, and let's get going with another one. Fire this bad boy up. What spot should we go with next? I absolutely, let's go with the spot that I don't really like. We'll go with 4. Let's see. Yeah, we're good to go. Go with 4 team or pick 4. Sitting here in a 12-team draft. Let's just hone in. I will focus my commentary only on this mock draft. All right, let's focus in. Kupp had another setback. I still don't know that. Actually, let's see what these guys say. I don't know that it's gonna have any impact on week 1. Okay, yeah, so it's on here as well. Suffered setback day to day. So I don't think it should impact whether or not you draft him. But in this case, with the rest of the offensive weapons around, I would take Tyreek over him. I'm just not going running back in the first round this year, I don't think. I'm seeing Kelsey in the first round, not just in mocks. I'm seeing that a lot more than I expected to, honestly. So don't be surprised if Kelsey goes mid first round. So if you have your heart set on him in that 5-6 range, you may want to pull the trigger because he's usually not getting past 8 from what I've seen. Amon-Ra St. Brown is an enigma to me because we don't know what's going to happen starting like week 7 when Jameson comes back, but he hasn't done me wrong so far. I got both of my fantasy football champions feature Amon-Ra St. Brown. The first one was one on the back of signing him. Both he and Rashad Penny, easy for me to say, for the postseason push. We'll go with Devontae here. I have ETN Najee around the 40. Mixon will not slide back, so I'll be looking at Aaron Jones, all that. I might switch it up here and go with Najee because I won't be able to bank on a starting caliber running back when it comes back to me here at 4-9. Now let's see if I regret that. See if I would have made it. And then of course I get sniped on Fields. I would have taken it just because he's sitting there. But running backs, yeah, I mean, unless you want to go Dameon Pierce, who luckily that was one of them that did fall to me in the 12-team leagues. I risked it. I risked it going 3 straight running backs. So I do believe I was able to grab Pierce. You ever do so many mock drafts, it starts to blur the lines of what happened in my real draft and what did I just mock? I do not want anything. I don't want any of Amari Cooper. I'm sorry. Is that a bad take? I really don't want it. But I'm not going tight end this high either, and I'm not going Herbert. McLaurin doesn't make me happy. Would I go with Drake London? A reach of Drake London over Cooper? It's gonna do it. I got it. Time's up. What? No, yeah, right. Yeah. You see how it tried to auto draft Kittle for me? Nah, we got there on time. Don't worry about it. Whew. That was close. All right, so then they take Trev. We do have Dameon Pierce again here. Let me look at the other running backs. He's going to be the guy. I know they have Singletary there. In the ADP draft, I did grab Singletary towards the end of the draft as a handcuff, but that was partially due to the fact that I didn't have many options. There weren't a lot of running back options left at the point where I grabbed him, but I'm going to go with Pierce here. Let's pull up the roster. Check our bye weeks. Nothing too bad. I need a bigger second monitor. I think it's hard to read these when I do these drafts. I'm over here just, what's it say, huh? Tyler Lockett, for a second, it looked like his shares were about to skyrocket because Jackson Smith-Njigba broke his wrist, but he's already had surgery and is back to practice. So that doesn't look like he's going to be out for very long. So keep that in your pocket. In this case, I am going to go with Lockett, though. Speaking of that guillotine league that I was in last year, almost made it. Got third in that league. So damn close. Did not win it all, but ended up with Lockett and Metcalf on that squad at one point. But I went away from Christian Kirk, who is still freaking sitting here, almost begging to be drafted, because I plan on Evan Ingram being someone that we grab in some later rounds here. In fact, he's gone. So, you know what? Actually, you know what? Just take Freiermuth and have that decent tight end. I don't want to wait for Everett this time. The play there really was Ingram, and I missed it. I should have taken him when I grabbed Lockert, but I really, really thought he would sit. So, oh, did we lose? And we lost out on Dak Prescott, which means, I mean, I'm not going to go to, let's look at our, oh, I do have Tyreek Hill though. So maybe I should go to, I don't want, and when to finish that thought, I'm not saying I'm not going to go Tua because I don't think he's good. I'm very concerned about that injury history, but this isn't real. It's a mock draft. So let's stack Tua and Tyreek. Why not? Why not? And then, oh, are we going to have a chance to get him the second time around? Anybody have second? You guys know what I'm thinking? Should I say it out loud? I want Richardson too. It's just for fun, you know. It's just a fantasy draft, just a mock, just a little mock. Brandon Cooks enigma is my favorite word today. Brandon Cooks is another one because here's a guy who has put up very good numbers virtually everywhere he's gone, and then last year happened with the Texans. And he was disgruntled and injured a little bit, and then didn't want to play. He wasn't going to play at all. And he came back decently productive. What's he gonna do in Dallas? He could be a really good player for them, but, I'm gonna go Burks. Yeah, I got it just in time. Woo, working it close. Guys, get your NBA questions ready for James and I on the bounce. You know what? I will give you guys a little sneak peek into tonight's outline. Let's see, what do we got? What are we going to be talking about on the bounce tonight? We're going to be talking about Giannis wanting out of Milwaukee, a proposed trade for Anthony Davis to Milwaukee. Would you guys like to see Giannis? Best all time, KG versus Dirk. Who's the better power forward? And then, of course, we're going to ask our NBA titles world champions. Okay, I guess I did have that one in there. Alan Lazard. Ooh, speaking of Rashad Penny, that's fun. Oh, we'll snag Gino here. Actually, should have gone Danny Dimes. But if I'm grabbing someone like Tua like that late, if I don't have an elite quarterback, which I likely won't because I don't want to reach that high, I am not waiting terribly long to grab my second one. I understand I'm going to potentially be picking between these guys back and forth all season long, and that's quite all right. That's a chance I'm willing to take, and that's where, you know, usually I like that second guy to be a rookie that might have a chance to do some things in the second half. You know, as they get more playing time, they get better. And honestly, I usually try to grab a second quarterback that can get some running yards, and that is why I immediately reprimanded myself for grabbing Geno over Daniel Dimes. He's sitting there. I like Rashad Bateman. We're gonna take that. I also like Tank Bigsby. Oh, he was almost back. Mostert, I'm really staying away from that. You know, I'm gonna try to wait one more for Singletary. And who else? What else we got? We do have 7 receivers. I guess I'll just take well, why don't we do this one straight up? I'm gonna grab my own handcuff here just to be safe, and we will pick a kicker and defense and just be done with it. So that way, for those of you who aren't interested in stacking a couple of extra players and then having to make a decision on who to cut, that might give some of you anxiety, the thought of doing that. I don't know, but we will. Oh, but see, but you could have a Deuce Vaughn if you do that. You could have Deuce Vaughn, but it's okay. We'll have a kicker. Let's let's get Matt Gay just for in case any Colts fans watch this later. I don't want to miss out on any potential opportunities. grab the defense, Legion of Boom. Probably the Packers defense, probably the better one to pick there, but I I got some faith the Seattle defense is gonna do a little something. All right, let's run through it. We got at least one more in us, huh? Tua, Najee Harris, Damian Pierce, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Pat Freiermuth, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett round out the starting lineup with in our flex positions. Then we have Matt Gay kicking and the Seattle Seahawks defense. On the bench, we have Treylon Burks, Geno Smith, Elijah Moore, Rashad Bateman, and Devin Singletary to back up old Damian Pierce. So, boom, that is our four-team spot. That's how it played out for us right there. Let's fire it up. Let's do one more, shall we? Why not? Get after it. What spot should we take this time? Should we go back to No Man's Land? We did a No Man's Land at 14. Should we do, what do you think, 7? 7's gonna be pretty brutal, but let's do it. Let's do 7. And let's see, I'm going to really, really, truly, honest to God, try to make my picks a little more quickly this time. Ooh, we're gonna get Tyreek again here. Okay, cool. We'll go with that. Let's see what we can do in the second round to avoid a Tua stack. Who can we grab that we might like? Oh, I see you, Garrett Wilson, looking at me. Oh, no, you're gone. Would you dare go Waddle here? I personally wouldn't. I'm not that brave, but you could. Oh man, this is tough. And there's no Josh Allen. You could take Josh Allen here. I mean, Josh Jacobs falling here is pretty sick if he plays. You know what? Let's shake things up. I don't have to go receiver. I mean, back in my day when we first started, you'd be going running back. You might even go running back in them days. I'm not saying those were the days. I'm just saying those were days that existed. And you know what? DK Metcalf. Why can't I speak today? I'm about to go live on another show after this. DK Metcalf is another good one for me to grab because I have failed to get the quarterbacks that I've liked. And I really believe that Geno Smith will have a season similar to last year, which would be great. People would love it. And if you can get him that late in the draft, that's not a terrible spot. Now, we previously had been going running back here because we went 3 receivers in a row. Now you've got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore sitting there is interesting. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm going to avoid. But we also have Aaron Jones here, and then there's Dameon Pierce again. So it's kind of the last last back in this tier according to the way Sleeper has them ranked. At least it sort of drops off from here depending on your feelings about Pierce. But Jones does have AJ Dillon there with him. So you know what? I'm gonna shake it up. Give me DJ Moore. We're gonna bet on that potential there. See what he can do with Justin Fields. All right. So let me check these bye weeks. Forgive my absent face. So we've got DJ and Josh at 13 with the buys, and everything else is good for now. Actually, we can just leave the roster up. I don't really use the queue function very often. Okay, get out of the wide receiver room here. McLaurin, Trevor Lawrence. Actually, I think Madison's going to be the move. He's clearly tops in that running back room. Who's behind him? Myles Gaskin. Yeah, I'm liking his potential to have a good season for Minnesota. So I love that one falling to me. I feel great about this starting lineup right now. If we can get one more good player in the flex, I mean, I'm just feeling phenomenal. Oh, Chris Godwin. There was a time, my friend. There was a time when you would be the one, but I don't those days are gone. Yeah. You know, I'm very suspicious of we already have Metcalf, so Lockett's out. I'm very suspicious of the quarterback situation in Tampa Bay to finish my first thought. So, hey, it's a second Brandon Ayuk sighting of the stream. Yeah. We need a soundboard for this. Kids, ooh, damn. Ooh, damn it. See some receivers tonight that I'll be drafting later, baby. Yep. Yep, that's what you get around here. You get singing, you get bad singing, outdated pop culture references, you get it all. Ooh, this one is falling right into place because I really have liked drafting Dak. Now, for those of you who like stacks, you're gonna hate this because 'cause I'm not gonna have really any of that, but, let's just play it out and see how it goes. So now we've got our quarterback. Somebody's gonna get a little bit on the ground, not a lot. I think he could put together a good season if he stays healthy. And you know what? Now we get a chance to grab his number 2 receiver for a little mini stack. Wonderful. Why not? What's the word for that? Kismet? I just mwah, I just worked out. Not how I planned it, but you know what? It makes me feel better about grabbing Dak. At least we got a little mini stack in there. Okay. Charbonnet is a back I wouldn't mind having some shares in this year. Really like Kenneth Walker, but Seattle just has a history of just being able to produce at the running back position. It's sort of like, back in the day, back in my day, Denver just had this ability to make anybody, a 1,000-yard rusher, like Olandis Gary, Mike Anderson. I mean, let's just throw a little Charbonnet on here. We're having fun. All right, what do we got? 3 more spots? And then we'll go with our kicker defense just to play it straight. Now, a reminder for those of you who don't know, learned it last night, courtesy of the ADP podcast. Shout out to Trev and Dan. You do not have to draft your kicker and defense. So if you want to stack a few rookies and wait and see, maybe grab a couple backup Indianapolis Colts running backs to see if they might work as a flex option that first week, and then drop somebody for a kicker. That I think works. And let's see, did we miss on the other? We're gonna grab. No, we have a running quarterback slightly with Dak, not a ton, but just to play the percentages, we'll grab Geno because we do have Metcalf up here. So I really I'm frustrated at how many times I've gotten close to drafting Daniel Jones so far, not able to pull the trigger. Let's see, our flex was both receivers, correct? Yes. So we have 5 receivers, 3 running backs. Who's sitting here at running back? I'll take Tank here. It it's interesting, you know, we hear a lot, at least I've heard a lot, that ETN may lose, some carries and some snaps to Bigsby. So I have no idea. This could be somebody that doesn't get a lot of playing time, and he could end up, especially with Etienne's injury history, he could end up being a pretty nice snag there in round 12. Not somebody I would reach on, but if he falls to you right there. Speaking of falling to you, Rashad Bateman in the 13th round feels pretty good. I will I will grab that, I believe. Oh, we have I'm not grabbing a backup tight end. We have a backup quarterback. I don't mind grabbing a backup tight end if you don't love the guy that you got. Maybe, again, grab somebody like Gerald Everett and then throw, like, a Michael Mayer in there, a rookie that is rumored to maybe not be the starter at the beginning of the season, but is expected to be a big part of the offense. Maybe do something like that. But otherwise, it also a lot of this depends on the number of bench spots you have. So last night in the ADP draft, we had 17 rounds. We had a few extra bench spots. So you can kind of get creative and, especially if you decide that you're not gonna draft a kicker or a defense and you're just gonna take a flyer on a couple of guys and wait it out between now and week 1 and see what happens. And obviously that you'll have to drop 2 of those players, but maybe not. Maybe someone gets injured, you slide someone into injured reserve, and then the next thing you know, um, you've got drafted players sitting there and you're just streaming defense and the kickers. There's a few different ways to do it. Let's see, 8:44. We are about to call it a stream here. Let's run through this roster one last time, and then we will do a lightning round, super quick, very little commentary. Let's burn through one. So we got Dak, Josh Jacobs, Madison, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Evan Ingram, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Jason Sanders is our kicker, Packers defense, Brandon Cooks, Zach Charbonnet, Geno Smith, Tank Bigsby, and Rashad Bateman on the bench. I do not hate that team out of the 7 spot. Uh, Probably could be better at quarterback. I'm really high on Ingram as tight end since last year. I like this receiving core. I love that we got Jacobs and Madison. So even though we might not have a ton of depth at running back, that's definitely a concern. I don't hate the team. So let's pull that one down and we will get going here on a lightning round. So I'm going to give myself only 30 seconds now and we are going to where are we get where have we get? We've done 4, 7, 12. Let's do let's do 9. All right. So we're gonna do 9 and we're gonna set this to 30 seconds. All right. So let's get it ready to go. Fire it up. I said go. Yes. All right. Very quickly, we're gonna turn this one out, turn it and burn it. Don't be late to the bounce. Going live here in about 20 minutes at 9:05 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna grab Diggs here. And this is a situation where, you know what? Maybe we would grab a little Josh Allen. Oh, CD Lamb. If CD Lamb had fallen there, my, that would have been, oh boy, would have been going for that one. Give me Garrett Wilson. I'm not. I said I was gonna go with the Diggs Allen stack. I decided I lied. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't a lie in the to the extent that I knew I was lying to you when I said it, but it did become a lie. I changed my mind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, Calvin Ridley or Joe Mixon. Now, at this point, we would have like Kenneth Walker, and you know what? Give me Joe Mixon. See how yeah, Gibbs will fall off the board. Jones will be oh, Ridley almost slid right back to us. Hey, Debo Samuel, what's how many games did he miss last year? Let's look at that real quick. And only the important ones at the only the playoffs. Yeah, he's there for the rest of it. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'm confident with that decision. Hey, he's on, and he can get some carries. I love the versatility. Always makes you feel like you've got a better chance to score more points with him. And then Madison's gonna fall to us here again, and you already know I like that. DeAndre Swift, it's already being rumored that that's going to be more of a committee situation. So Swift at your own risk, but maybe grab Penny. He seems to be sliding a bit, or at least he seems to be in a reasonable drafting position. Let me put it that way. Maybe that's a bit more correct. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We do not have DK this time, right? So give me that Tyler Lockett. Lockett sauce, dude. That'll be our last flex. I'll take it. And if this were a real league, it might be trading Lockett this year if he has a hot start. So I think Jackson Smith and Jigba will eventually start doing some things, some explosive things in the second half of the season. But hey, you got me for Ingram again, you sniping bastards, dude. I hate you. Man, you guys are supposed to know about Ingram. Come on, man, stop it. You gotta knock it off. Let's go with you gonna go with AJ Dillon or Brian Robinson, who's listed as a starter? Oh, AJ's projected more points. Yeah, screw it. Little parody. We'll mix it up a little bit. Mix it up just they're gonna run the ball a lot. That's in this narrative. Bum, bum, down. Ooh, they went back. See, a team 5 pulled what I sometimes like to call a Kev, except I usually don't do it in rounds 8 and 9. So they went Tua. It's definitely a Kev. That's a old Kev, though. It went back to back and then didn't even bother to stack one of them. So what's up with that? I'll get me some Gabe Da Oh, I shoulda got me some Dave Davis because we got Diggs already. Gabe Davis, you're getting traded. You're getting traded, you son of a bitch. Uh, why did I draft you? Kirk Cousins is here. Just gonna take Dan now. Oh, I missed Richardson when I drafted Gabe Davis. That was my Richardson pick. I panicked. I said I wasn't gonna talk this well, some of the experience is just seeing where other people are getting drafted, you know? I'm out here screwing everything up. Thielen I've been seeing just drop. It's funny when you see these number 1 overall receivers that just aren't getting any love. We've already got 5. Do we go A chain instead? Yes, it is decided. And then Thielen goes. Naturally, Sky Moore, Bateman, he might have been there, but there's a lot of defenses sitting there I don't like. Mitchell, maybe Bigsby, but we had just taken a chain, and we already have Dylan. So let's get to it here. Last player that we're picking, and we're gonna throw Everett in there because we don't love our tight end super situation. Frymouth, it could be a good one with Frymouth. Might have been an unnecessary pick, but we were pretty solid at receiver except for Gabe Davis, who we've got to trade. I honestly probably should have gone with a receiver or running back there. But I mean, we are set at receiver. Don't get me wrong. Debo, Lockett, Wilson, Diggs. Yeah, we're good. So there you have it, folks. We are wrapping up here. I will show you this final team, but it's about time for me to get out of here and got to do it all again with James here talking NBA. I love it. I can't wait for it. So excited. Let's see this final team as we will read it off to you. Daniel Jones, Joe Mixon, Alex Madison, Stefan Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Pat Fryermuth, Debo Samuel, Tyler Lockett, kicker Brandon McManus, Seattle defense. The bench has AJ Dillon, Gabe Davis, Devin A. Chain or a Shone, I have no idea. Rashad Bateman and Gerald Everett. So not my best work, but not terrible out of the 9 spot. I'm not super mad about it. I am internally grateful for all of you who have tuned in and hung out with us here, and I'll see some of you in just a minute talking NBA. So until next time, thank you so much. Good.